Well, hello, my darlings. I'm Faith and Faith and Gret's back to share a last little look at my altered Monet. A little peek there. So, I want to first do a big shout out to Jez over at Jez Creates. The Monet kit is absolutely beautiful. Both of my Monet journals have come out absolutely gorgeous. So, I do hope you go check her out. Information's down in the links below. And keep watching. So, be back with you in just a tick. Well, hello, my darlings. I'm Faith from Faith and Grits, and back for a final little look on camera of my altered Monet. So, as you can see, I did decide to paint the cover. I didn't use my gel plate as such, but I did use the sponges to apply the paint. So you've got that sort of effect. And I've covered it with some trim, lace gone all around the spine, and the back's been painted. And I've waxed the cover. On Carrie the Crafter's recommendation, I've tried this Dorland's wax medium. And you've got to set it up for 24 hours to dry, but it's got this lovely protective coat on the painting now as well. So I'm quite pleased with that. This was a bit of a trick to glue down, but we're down anyway. And the intention was always to use this book as a place for me to put some of my jelly plate plays into as a personal journal. So I made a start on that. So of course I've used the beautiful kit, the Monet kit from Jez. And it just, the color palette throughout the whole book is reflected here. You can, it's such a colorful palette, and I've kept that vintage photo grunge going throughout. So I've got a mixture of my jelly plate plays, Jez's paper, and the original imagery that was in the book originally. And then I've made a sort of equilibrious card for myself to go in that front. So I've just taken bits, and this is jelly plate play that I've done on, some of this is on card, because that was a thin onion skin pull off the plate. And the others are from old scrapbook photo albums. So I've got that page there. I haven't decorated any yet. That'll come. And any of the tags that I've made to put in here, I haven't embellished or anything yet. So those 3 flippy flappies will hold tags. Let's get me a piece of paper here to show some of these empty ones. So I'm quite pleased with how the whole thing has come out. So those tags will go in those. I've got a tuck there and a tuck at the bottom. Now these I've cut from one of my gel plate pulls on this thicker, like wedding photograph albums. You can find blank ones in the charity shops, and they've got this really thick, textured paper for the pages. So I just harvest those from there. So as I'm playing, and if I do a bit of journaling or sketching or anything in here, I'll use the backs of these. There's another offcut from a gel plate pull. That was my first time playing with the paint sticks on the gel plate. So you get that lovely mottled effect over the book page, which I think is really nice. It's another piece of one of mine that I've chopped down. So you've got that sort of textured cardstock that you can find in these old photo albums in the charity shops. I've added a pocket there. So again, I haven't had enough gel plates to fill everything. These are from a pull that I did based on, I was looking at the colors that were on the original cover of this book. If you look back at the series, you can see what the book looked like. That's got 2 pockets there, and another one up there. And I've tried to match the color scheme on the pages using those paint sticks and ink. And I think the effect is nice. It's not for everybody, but I like it. There's a shallow pocket there. That's got a huge up tuck underneath. And there's a pocket there, and I think that's a pocket as well. Yeah. And that's the pocket as well. That's from the kid, Jez's kid. And I've got, these are a little snug. So for these 3 flippy flappy ones here, I've got tags in there, but they're a little bit stiff to come in and out. But again, this is just cutting up the big pieces of this that I had on the jelly play-in. Come on, go back in there. So again, that one's got a little one in the front, a big tuck in the back, room to put something else here, and a pocket there. And in the center, I did create myself a little mini notebook to go into the center. So again, I've got lace and trim on the spine. These are images from the book. And then I've got just some, these were all offcuts from some of the book pages where I was just cutting snippets off, where I'd separated pages when I took the book apart. And then I've got some really grungy stained paper in here to play on or to sketch on. So, yeah, or glue things in, or I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do yet. Even if I do just like a little sampler of different techniques that I've worked out. So you've got that lovely sunflower image on that side, and that one's another Monet from the book. That one's got one there, a big up tuck, and that one, and I think that's a pocket on, come on, that's a pocket for a tag going that one. Those are 2 more of my pulls onto book page from the small Monet that I took apart using the paint sticks and using that buff color in the background. So that was my first pull, and that was my second pull. So you could see it picked up more of that color once it dried. So I've kept those in there so I can remember that, because that sort of mottled effect. There's another tall one from that page. And another one in there where I've tried. That was when using those silicone tools. And let's see, 2 more on this side, one there, and 2 more on that side, there and there. There's another flippy floppy, and it's got long skinny tags in it from an offcut piece. They're a little snug. I don't know why they're so snug. Maybe I put too much glue on there. Come on, go back in. There. So, one in there, and one in there. So I've got another offcut here. But I can always take these out and add to them. Or even do pulls from the other side, as long as I let them dry all the way before putting them back in. And there's room to keep adding to these pages. It just depends on how big I want the book to grow. Up there and up there, because it's only my second ever altered book. So it was a bit of play. There's a learning curve to it, for sure. So there are, warts and mistakes in here, but I know where they are, and I've learned from them. So happy days. So tag goes in there. And then I've got a flippy there for tags. I've got some Monet greeting cards that I want to take apart and play with. But this will be like a rainy day kind of journal for me, I think. Just to come in and play. And I've got a big side-loading one there. I've saved bits from of course I got Jez's kit. And I've saved imagery that I've cleaned from the leftover book pages. So offcuts there. And again, that's just using that sponge technique to get the texture on the gel plate. So quite pleased with that. And coming on to the back then, that's from the book. And that's another offcut of me playing, looking at some of Monet's artworks. And then 2 more stuck in the back there. So no, I'm really pleased with how it's come out. I haven't put a closure or anything on it. But I'm really pleased. It's at the state now where it can go up on the shelf now, ready for play another day. for now because I got lots of other things coming up. So I do have two ones coming up this week in the Grungy Bunny journal. But for now, this will be the final look at the altered Monet for a bit anyway. So thank you ever so much for watching, and I hope you're all doing well out there, and happy crafting, everyone. So, from me, Faith, bye for now.